quiet table meant for one. The room was filled with gentle conversation and faded pieces of the sun. Then someone moved the empty chair and softly asked if it was free. I looked up from the book I wasn't reading, and you sat across from me. Nothing changed outside the window. People hurried down the street, but all at once the day grew slower. With your hands across from me, you sat across from me and smiled as though we'd met before. A simple cup of coffee became an open door. I didn't know your story, you didn't know my name, but something in that quiet hour would never be the same. You spoke about the warmer weather. I laughed at something small you said. The clock above the counter kept on turning, but time stood somewhere else instead. Your sleeve was resting near the sugar, your coffee slowly growing cold, and every little silence felt so easy, like a story gently told. There were no grand declarations, no promises we had to keep, only two uncertain strangers finding something warm and deep. You sat across from me while evening settled on the floor. A simple conversation left me wanting something more. I still recall the lamplight, the music playing low, and how a heart can recognize what it has yet to know. Perhaps love doesn't always enter with a warning or a sign. Perhaps it takes an empty chair and asks for just a little time. No thunder in the distance, no stars falling from above, only one unhurried moment, quietly becoming love. You sat across from me, shadows gathered by the door. Neither of us understood what that afternoon was for, but now I know the smallest things can change the road we see. My whole life turned so gently when you took that seat with me. The cups were cleared, the room grew still, the daylight disappeared, but something warm had found a place. quietly remain. There were roads I could not see beyond, and nights that felt too long. I wondered if the strength I had finally all gone. You never tried to hurry me or tell me what to do. You simply matched your steps with mine and helped me make it through. You never let me walk alone when I had lost my way. You stayed beside me quietly until the light of day. No grand and perfect answers, no promises carved in stone. Only your hand reaching for mine, so I would not walk alone. When every door appeared to close and hope was hard to find, you carried all the words I feared and never fell behind. Some days we barely moved at all, some miles were filled with rain. But every time I turned around, you were beside me again. Take away the stone, but you made every step feel lighter, because I was not alone. Love is not always leading or knowing where to go. Sometimes it is walking near and keeping footsteps slow. It is staying through uncertainty when answers are unknown, and giving someone courage by refusing to go home. You never let me walk alone through every changing year. The road was never easy, but you were always near. If someday you should lose your way, you will not face it on your own. I will place my hand inside your hand and walk beside you home. The road ahead is quiet now. Your hand is holding mine. never filled the room with stories or spoke before you knew. You listened to the smallest things and somehow heard them through. You noticed when my hands were cold and moved my chair from the rain. You never said that it was love, but I understood the same. I learned your quiet ways, the words you left unspoken, the kindness in your waiting, the care in every day. You never had to tell me what your gentle heart would say. Little by little, I learned your quiet ways. You left the hallway light on whenever I came home late. You warmed my cup before I asked and never made me wait. You kept the notes I wrote you inside an old blue book, and every time I doubted us, I found love in your look. Some hearts are loud as summer, some shine for all to see, but yours was like a steady lamp, always there for me. No promises made lightly, no grand display of grace, only all the tender truth I found in your quiet ways. The years have changed our faces and silver days gone by, but you still know when I need your hand without me telling why. You sit beside me in the evening as daylight leaves the room, and silence never feels empty whenever I'm with you. Love can live in simple gestures, in a coat placed by the door, and waiting through the difficult days and staying through the storms. It doesn't need a perfect phrase or music swelling high. Sometimes love is simply knowing someone will remain nearby. I know your quiet ways, the words you leave unspoken, the kindness in your waiting, the care in every day. You never had to tell me what your faithful heart would say. All these years I've known your quiet ways. So let the evening settle, let the busy world grow still. Your hand is resting close to mine, and I know it always will. I used to choose the smallest table near the corner by the wall. One chair for my coat beside me, one cup, and that was all. Then you began to meet me there on quiet afternoons, and somehow all my empty hours started making room for you. 2 cups on the table, side by side each day. One for all the words we shared, one for what we couldn't say. No promises between us, no plans beyond the door. Just 2 cups on the table, where there used to be one before. You always came a little early, I was usually running late. You turned my cup the way I liked it, and smile while you would wait. I learned you never took the sugar, you learned I like the rain, and every ordinary meeting made me want to come again. 2 cups on the table, cooling in the light. We could talk until the afternoon slowly turned to night. Nothing grand was spoken, but I began to see the chair across the table no longer felt empty. Love did not arrive like thunder, it didn't ask us to believe. It grew between the little things, too small for us to see. A coat placed on the other chair, your footsteps at the door, the gentle way you said my name and stayed a little more. Years have passed since those first meetings, the cafe is long gone, but every day I set 2 cups as morning carries on. You sit with me in peaceful silence the way you always do, and I still find my favorite place is anywhere with you. 2 cups on the table, a simple life we've made, holding all the tender words. The time has never changed. We never needed riches to know what love was for. Only 2 cups waiting, and your footsteps at the door. The room is still, the day begins. Your hand rests close to mine. Steam rises softly through the light as morning takes its time. Evening sun was growing softer, shadows stretched across the town. We could have taken the familiar street, the one that led us straight back home. But you turned toward the river, where the quiet road began. And without asking where we were going, I simply reached out for your hand. Neither one of us was ready for the afternoon to close, so we passed the road we should have taken and chose the one nobody chose. We took the longer road, though home was not so far. We walked beneath the fading blue and watched the first evening star. There was nowhere else to hurry, nothing waiting we had to do. I only wanted one more mile to walk beside you. We stopped beside a garden wall where summer roses grew. You told me little childhood stories I had never heard from you. A distant window opened, someone called a child inside. But we kept walking by the river with the warm night at our side. Every turn became a reason to remain a little more, and every quiet step between us brought our hearts a little closer. We took the longer road past houses glowing gold. You spoke about the life you wanted and the dreams you had never told. Street lights slowly found us as daylight disappeared, and every word you trusted me with made me want you near. Love did not begin with promises or a perfect thing to say. It began because we both decided not to take the shortest way. The road can seem like nothing, just a line from here to there. But that night, every step was different, because you were walking there. We took the longer road while the quiet town grew still. The years have carried us much farther, but I remember every hill. If I could return to that evening, knowing everything I know, I'd reach again to take your hand and choose the longer road. The porch light waited in the distance, the moon rose pale and slow. We finally reached the place we had to part, but neither wanted to let go. There were mornings filled with silence when we could not find the words. Days when every small misunderstanding seemed to leave somebody hurt. You would stand beside the window, I would turn the other way, but neither one of us was willing to let anger have the final say. Love was never always easy. We learned that much was true, but every time the road grew difficult, I still came home to you. Even on our hardest days, when tenderness felt far away, something deeper held us close and asked our hearts to stay. We didn't always understand or know the words to say, but I never stopped believing in us, even on our hardest days. There were bills upon the table, there were nights we hardly slept, there were dreams we had to lay aside and promises we barely kept. Sometimes worry made us distant, sometimes pride would close the door. Still you left the hallway light on, and I knew what it was for. We were never in a story where every ending turned out right. We were simply two imperfect hearts who chose to share the night. Even on our hardest days, when the room was cold and still, you would place your hand beside mine, and I knew you loved me still. Not with speeches or forgiveness that arrived without delay, but by staying close and trying again, even on our hardest days. Love is not the absence of sorrow, or a life without regret. It is waking after yesterday and choosing not to leave just yet. It is listening a little longer, it is letting anger go, it is finding something gentle in the person that you know. Even on our hardest days, when time had worn our patience thin, we found a quiet way to turn and face each other once again. Now I see the difficult years did not take our love away. They taught us how to hold each other through our hardest days. The house is quiet now, your hand is resting close to mine. We did not need a perfect life, only love that stayed through time. Plates were waiting on the table, the candles had begun to glow. Then an old song filled the kitchen from the little radio. You stopped beside the open window. I looked up from my chair. Neither said anything. We simply listened there. The evening had been busy, but suddenly it grew still. That half-forgotten melody was one we both remembered well. The dinner could wait, the evening was our own. We stayed beside each other and listened to the song. No need to fill the silence, no need to speak at all. Love was in the quiet that settled through the hall. The soup was slowly growing colder. The daylight left the room. A summer breeze moved through the curtains, carrying a sweet perfume. You told me where you first had heard it, so many years ago. I smiled because I still remembered every word you didn't know. We had heard 1,000 records and watched the seasons change, but somehow that familiar song still sounded just the same. The dinner could wait, there was no place to be. Your hand was resting on the table, only inches away from me. The clock continued turning, the night came through the door. But for those quiet minutes, we needed nothing more. The years had filled our little kitchen with days both hard and kind. Photographs upon the cupboard and memories left behind. Still, whenever music found us, the distance disappeared. I saw the person I first loved as though the past were near. Perhaps a life is made of moments too ordinary to name. A meal that waits, a fading song, a softly glowing flame. Not every love needs promises or words that sound profound. Sometimes it lives most clearly when no one else is around. The dinner could wait, the room was warm and still. The song was nearly over, but I could feel it with us still. No need to hold the moment or ask the night to stay. We had found another memory in an ordinary day. The candles burned a little lower, you turned the radio down. We finally sat beside each other as evening settled around. was clear. There were places we had to go and voices we had to hear. The hours carried us apart through streets both loud and long. But somewhere underneath it all, I knew where I belonged. At the end of every day, I found my way to you. Through all the noise and changing plans, you were the one thing true. No matter where the road had turned or what had gone astray, your quiet arms were waiting at the end of every day. Some evenings brought us laughter, some left us tired and still. Sometimes we spoke for hours, sometimes silence filled the room. But even in the quiet, I never felt alone. The moment I was near you, the whole world felt like home. At the end of every day, your light was in the hall. A cup was waiting on the table, your coat was on the wall. We never needed perfect words to make the worry fade. Love lived in all the little things at the end of every day. Years are made of ordinary hours that disappear too soon. Doors that open in the morning and close beneath the moon. Yet every day became a life because I shared it with you. And every road that led me home made old love feel new. At the end of every day, I still come home to you. The years have changed so many things, but not the love we knew. And when the evening settles and the light begins to fade, I find my favorite place again at the end of every day. The house grows still around us. Your hand rests close to mine. We walked beneath the summer trees. The afternoon was warm. You reached for me across the years and gently held my palm. I saw the silver in your hair, the lines beside your eyes. But in the moment our hands met, I saw our younger lives. So many days had passed us, so much had rearranged. But when your fingers touched my own, your hand felt just the same. Your hand felt just taken youth away, but all the love I knew back then was resting there today. We passed the little corner shop where we once stopped for tea. The painted sign had disappeared, but you remembered it with me. You spoke about the road behind, the sorrow and the grace. Then quietly your thumb moved once across that familiar place. Your hand felt just the same, still gentle, warm and true, as if the years had folded back and left me there with you. No photograph could hold it, no memory could explain how one small touch could bring my heart so close to home again. Love changes as we change. It learns a slower pace. It settles into ordinary days and every familiar place. But some things never leave us, however far we roam. One hand reaching for another can always lead us home. Your hand felt just the same as evening filled the street. The world around us carried on while time stood at our feet. I did not need to ask you if love had truly stayed. I felt the answer in your hand before we walked away. The light grew pale behind the trees. Your hand remained in mine. If I could stand where life began before I knew your name, if every road were new again, I'd choose the road you came. I know there would be difficult years and nights without an end, but I would take the joy and tears to find you there again. I would live it all again. Every summer, every rain, every door that opened wide, every season filled with change. I would keep the days that hurt us with the happiness they gave. If they led me back into your arms, I would live them all again. candles we made from almost nothing that tasted fine to me. I'd keep the words we said too quickly, the nights we disagreed. For every imperfect moment taught our love what it could be. I would live it all again, every journey, every mile, every morning filled with worry, every evening with your smile. I would not erase the sorrow or ask the past to change, for it made the love we carry and brought us here today. A perfect life might shine more brightly, but it would not feel like ours. We found our way through ordinary days, not only golden hours. And if tomorrow asked me what I would choose to do, I would take this life in both my hands and walk it all with you. I would live it all again, but I would hold you closer then. I would listen a little longer and forgive a little sooner. Still I would not choose another road or wish our years away. If I could have one life beside you, I would choose this one again. The room is still around us, your hand is close to mine. We have no need to start again. I am grateful for this life. You never filled the room with stories or spoke before you knew. You listened to the smallest things and somehow heard them through. You noticed when my hands were cold and moved my chair from the rain. You never said that it was love, but I understood the same. I learned your quiet ways, the words you left unspoken, the kindness in your waiting, the care in every day. You never had to tell me what your gentle heart would say. Little by little, I learned your quiet ways. You left the hallway light on whenever I came home late. You warmed my cup before I asked and never made me wait. You kept the notes I wrote you inside an old blue book, and every time I doubted us, I found love in your look. Some hearts are loud as summer, some shine for all to see, but yours was like a steady lamp, always there for me. No promises made lightly, no grand display of grace, only all the tender truth found in your quiet ways. The years have changed our faces and silver days gone by, but you still know when I need your hand without me telling why. You sit beside me in the evening as daylight leaves the room, and silence never feels empty whenever I'm with you. Love can live in simple gestures in a code placed by the door, and waiting through the difficult days and staying through the storms. It doesn't need a perfect phrase or music swelling high. Sometimes love is simply knowing someone will remain nearby. I know your quiet ways, the words you leave unspoken, the kindness in your waiting, the care in every day. You never had to tell me what your faithful heart would say. All these years I've known your quiet ways. So let the evening settle, let the busy world grow still. Your hand is resting close to mine, and I know it always will. It was an ordinary afternoon. A quiet table meant for one. The room was filled with gentle conversation and faded pieces of the sun. Then someone moved the empty chair and softly asked if it was free. I looked up from the book I wasn't reading, and you sat across from me. Nothing changed outside the window. People hurried down the street, but all at once the day grew slower. With your hands across from me, you sat across from me and smiled as though we'd met before. A simple cup of coffee became an open door. I didn't know your story, you didn't know my name, but something in that quiet hour would never be the same. About the warmer weather, I laughed at something small you said. The clock above the counter kept on turning, but time was resting near the sugar. Your coffee slowly growing cold, and every little silence felt so easy, like a story gently told. There were no grand declarations, no promises we had to keep, only two uncertain strangers finding something warm and deep. You sat across from me while evening settled on the floor. A simple conversation left me wanting something more. I still recall the lamplight, the music playing low, and how a heart can recognize what it has yet to know. Perhaps love doesn't always enter with a warning or a sign. Perhaps it takes an empty chair and asks for just a little time. No thunder in the distance, no stars falling from above, only one unhurried moment, quietly becoming love. You sat across from me, the shadows gathered by the door. Neither of us understood what that afternoon was for, but now I know the smallest things can change the road we see. My whole life turned so gently when you took that seat with me. The cups were cleared, the room grew still, the daylight disappeared, but something warm had found a place and quietly remained. There were roads I could not see beyond, and nights that felt too long. I wondered if the strength I had finally all gone. You never tried to hurry me or tell me what to do. You simply matched your steps with mine and helped me make it through. You never let me walk alone when I had lost my way. You stayed beside me quietly until the light of day. No grand and perfect answers, no promises carved in stone, only your hand reaching for mine, so I would not walk alone. When every door appeared to close and hope was hard to find, you carried all the words I feared and never fell behind. Some days we barely moved at all, some miles were filled with rain, but every time I turned around, you were beside me again. like a stone, but you made every step feel lighter, because I was not alone. Love is not always leading or knowing where to go. Sometimes it is walking near and keeping footsteps slow. It is staying through uncertainty when answers are unknown, and giving someone courage by refusing to go home. You never let me walk alone through every changing year. The road was never easy, but you were always near. If someday you should lose your way, you will not face it on your own. I will place my hand inside your hand and walk beside you home. The road ahead is quiet now. Your hand is holding mine. I used to choose the smallest table near the corner by the wall. One chair for my coat beside me, one cup, and that was all. Then you began to meet me there on quiet afternoons, and somehow all my empty hours started making room for you. 2 cups on the table, side by side each day. One for all the words we shared, one for what we couldn't say. No promises between us, no plans beyond the door. Just 2 cups on the table where there used to be one before. You always came a little early, I was usually running late. You turned my cup the way I liked it and smile while you would wait. I learned you never took the sugar, you learned I like the rain, and every ordinary meeting made me want to come again. 2 cups on the table, cooling in the light. We could talk until the afternoon slowly turned to night. Nothing grand was spoken, but I began to see the chair across the table no longer felt empty. Love did not arrive like thunder, it didn't ask us to believe. It grew between the little things, too small for us to see. A coat placed on the other chair, your footsteps at the door, the gentle way you said my name and stayed a little more. Years have passed since those first meetings, the cafe is long gone, but every day I set 2 cups as morning carries on. You sit with me in peaceful silence the way you always do, and I still find my favorite place is anywhere with you. 2 cups on the table, a simple life we've made, holding all the tender words. The time has never changed. We never needed riches to know what love was for. Only 2 cups waiting, and your footsteps at the door. The room is still, the day begins. Your hand rests close to mine. Steam rises softly through the light as morning takes its time. The evening sun was growing softer. Shadows stretched across the town. We could have taken the familiar street, the one that led us straight back home. But you turned toward the river, where the quiet road began. And without asking where we were going, I simply reached out for your hand. Neither one of us was ready for the afternoon to close, so we passed the road we should have taken and chose the one nobody chose. We took the longer road, though home was not so far. We walked beneath the fading blue and watched the first evening star. There was nowhere else to hurry, nothing waiting we had to do. I only wanted one more mile to walk beside you. We stopped beside a garden wall where summer roses grew. You told me little childhood stories I had never heard from you. A distant window opened, someone called a child inside. But we kept walking by the river with the warm night at our side. Every turn became a reason to remain a little more, and every quiet step between us brought our hearts a little closer. We took the longer road past houses glowing gold. You spoke about the life you wanted and the dreams you had never told. Street lights slowly found us as daylight disappeared, and every word you trusted me with made me want you near. Love did not begin with promises or a perfect thing to say. It began because we both decided not to take the shortest way. The road can seem like nothing, just a line from here to there, but that night every step was was different, because you were walking there. We took the longer road while the quiet town grew still. The years have carried us much farther, but I remember every hill. If I could return to that evening, knowing everything I know, I'd reach again to take your hand and choose the longer road. The porch light waited in the distance. The moon rose pale and slow. We finally reached the place we had to part, but neither wanted to let go. There were mornings filled with silence when we could not find the words. Days when every small misunderstanding seemed to leave somebody hurt. You would stand beside the window, I would turn the other way, but neither one of us was willing to let anger have the final say. Love was never always easy. We learned that much was true, but every time the road grew difficult, I still came home to you. Even on our hardest days, when tenderness felt far away, something deeper held us close and asked our hearts to stay. We didn't always understand or know the words to say, but I never stopped believing in us, even on our hardest days. Upon the table, there were nights we hardly slept. There were dreams we had to lay aside and promises we barely kept. Sometimes worry made us distant, sometimes pride would close the door. Still you left the hallway light on, and I knew what it was for. We were never in a story where every ending turned out right. We were simply two imperfect hearts who chose to share the night. Even on our hardest days, cold and still, you would place your hand beside mine, and I knew you loved me still, not with speeches or forgiveness that arrived without delay, but by staying close and trying again, even on our hardest days. Love is not the absence of sorrow or a life without regret. It is waking after yesterday and choosing not to leave just yet. It is listening a little longer. It is letting anger go. It is finding something gentle in the person that you know. Even on our hardest days, when time had worn our patience thin, we found a quiet way to turn and face each other once again. Now I see the difficult years did not take our love away. They taught us how to hold each other through our hardest days. The house is quiet now. Your hand is resting close to mine. We did not need a perfect life, only love that stayed through time. Plates were waiting on the table. The candles had begun to glow. Then an old song filled the kitchen from the little radio. You stopped beside the open window. I looked up from my chair. Neither one of us said anything. We simply listened there. The evening had been busy, but suddenly it grew still. That half-forgotten melody was one we both remembered well. The dinner could wait. The evening was our own. We stayed beside each other and listened to the song. No need to fill the silence, no need to speak at all. Love was in the quiet that settled through the hall. The soup was slowly growing colder. The daylight left the room. A summer breeze moved through the curtains, carrying a sweet perfume. You told me where you first had heard it, so many years ago. I smiled because I still remembered every word you didn't know. We had heard 1,000 records and watched the seasons change, but somehow that familiar song still sounded just the same. The dinner could wait. There was no place to be. Your hand was resting on the table, only inches away from me. memories left behind. Still, whenever music found us, the distance disappeared. I saw the person I first loved as though the past were near. Perhaps a life is made of moments too ordinary to name. A meal that waits, a fading song, a softly glowing flame. Not every love needs promises or words that sound profound. Sometimes it lives most clearly when no one else is around. The dinner could wait, the room was warm and still. The song was nearly over, but I could feel it with us still. No need to hold the moment or ask the night to stay. We had found another memory in an ordinary day. The candles burned a little lower. You turned the radio down. We finally sat beside each other as evening settled around. The morning always called us before the sky was clear. There were places we had to go and voices we had to hear. The hours carried us apart through streets both loud and long. But somewhere underneath it all, I knew where I belonged. At the end of every day, I found my way to you. Through all the noise and changing plans, you were the one thing true. No matter where the road had turned or what had gone astray, your quiet arms were waiting at the end of every day. Brought us laughter, some left us tired and still. Sometimes we spoke for hours, sometimes silence filled the room. But even in the quiet, I never felt alone. The moment I was near you, the whole world felt like home. Light was in the hall, a cup was waiting on the table, your coat was on the wall. We never needed perfect words to make the worry fade. Love lived in all the little things at the end of every day. Disappear too soon. Doors that open in the morning and close beneath the moon. Yet every day became a life because I shared it with you. and every road that led me home made old love feel new. At the end of every day, I still come home to you. The years have changed so many things, but not the love we knew. And when the evening settles and the light begins to fade, I find my favorite place again at the end of every day. The house grows still around us. Your hand rests close to mine. We walked beneath the summer trees. The afternoon was warm. You reached for me across the years and gently held my palm. I saw the silver in your hair, the lines beside your eyes. But in the moment our hands met, I saw our younger lives. So many days had passed us, so much had rearranged. But when your fingers touched my own, your hand felt just the same. Your hand felt just the same as on that first September day, when neither one of us could find the perfect words to say. The years had changed our faces and taken youth away, but all the love I knew back then was resting there today. We passed the little corner shop where we once stopped for tea. The painted sign had disappeared, but you remembered it with me. You spoke about the road behind, the sorrow and the grace. Then quietly your thumb moved once across that familiar place. Your hand felt just the same, still gentle, warm and true, as if the years had folded back and left me there with you. No photograph could hold it, no memory could explain how one small touch could bring my heart so close to home again. Love changes as we change. It learns a slower pace. It settles into ordinary days and every familiar place. But some things never leave us, however far we roam. One hand reaching for another can always lead us was home. Your hand felt just the same as evening filled the street. The world around us carried on while time stood at our feet. I did not need to ask you if love had truly stayed. I felt the answer in your hand before we walked away. The light grew pale behind the trees. Your hand remained in mine. If I could stand where life began before I knew your name, if every road were new again, I'd choose the road you came. I know there would be difficult years and nights without an end, but I would take the joy and tears to find you there again. I would live it all again. Every summer, every rain, every door that opened wide, every season filled with change. I would keep the days that hurt us with the happiness they gave. If they led me back into your arms, I would live them all again. I would keep our little rented room, the winter by the sea, the meals we made from almost nothing that tasted fine to me. I'd keep the words we said too quickly, the nights we disagreed, for every imperfect moment taught our love what it could be. I would live it all again. Every journey, every mile, every morning filled with worry, every evening with your smile. I would not erase the sorrow or ask the past to change, for it made the love we carry and brought us here today. Perfect life might shine more brightly, but it would not feel like ours. We found our way through ordinary days, not only golden hours. And if tomorrow asked me what I would choose to do, I would take this life in both my hands and walk it all with you. I would live it all again, but I would hold you closer then. I would listen a little longer and forgive a little sooner. Still I would not choose another road or wish our years away. If I could have one life beside you, Your hand is close to mine. We have no need to start again. I am grateful for this life.